Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we will be discussing a very important topic. It's a sequel to the video I did the last time, but today we will be talking about EB1A and EB2-NIW consular processing. So, what is consular processing? Who are those that are eligible to use this process? And eventually, what does consular processing give you? Okay, basically, we are going to be trashing that out today. My name is Olanike, and with me is Dr. Bobola. We are my green card story. And of course, if you're on this channel, you know my green card story is where we talk about everything EB1A and EB2-NIW. So, consular processing is what you have to do before you enter into the United States to continue with your process of adjustment of status. Of course, after the approval of your I-140. Okay, so if you've applied outside the country, this video is for you. All right. I'm going to share my screen, okay, so that will be illustrative enough. And I know a lot of people out there, they want to know the process of, changing their status if they are outside the United States. So, um, I'm going to share entire screen and
Great.
yes.
Let's start.
All right, let's start. So, Dr. Bobola, just let us first of all tell people what is consular processing and go through the checklists, okay, for people that might not be too familiar with what they even need before they can go through this process.
Okay, so consular processing basically means that those that file for it, any type of visa, green
Immigration,
card, immigration,
immigrant, yeah, visa.
immigrant visa. In this case, EB2, NIW, or EB1A, they will
Yeah,
go through the US embassy in their respective country
country.
for the US, for the United States to process them. So that's what consular processing is all about in a nutshell.
Yes.
And specifically for those that file for EB2 NIW or EB1A, for you to be qualified to go through consular processing, number one, you must have you must have checked in your uh, uh, form I-140 when you were filing for your petition that you plan to go for consular processing. Then
Yes.
also in that same form I-140, they will ask you to list the names of your immediate family member, like your wife or husband and your children, and they
Children.
will ask to check which one is going to adjust their status, which one is going to seek for a visa abroad. So if you have checked that any of your immediate family member is going to seek or apply for a visa abroad, that person would go through consular
Consular processing.
processing. Nika, do you have anything to add to what I've just said?
Well, it's an important point you raised because a lot of people, when they, as the main applicants, when they applied for their I-140, some people don't even include the details of their dependents. Some people, when they include their dependents detail, they don't remember to click that they will be applying for a visa. Um, through consular processing. So please, if you haven't checked the right box, whenever you're applying for your or filling that I-140 form, please always make sure that you check the box. But if you did not, of course, all hope is not lost. You just need to fill another form, which is I-824. That's the form that authorizes the USCIS to transfer your case to, I would say, the US Embassy in your country to take over from there.
Great. Do you want to move on to the next slide?
Of course, yeah. So all the checklist is right here. Your high 140 must be approved. For those of us that are that apply through EB2-NIW, even though your I-140 is approved, you still need to wait for your priority date for EB1A. You know, the priority date is current for most countries, not all countries, right? So you can start thinking of, this consular processing once your EB1A is approved. Okay. All your dependents, yourself as well as the main applicant, your passport must be valid. Okay, so whenever you've gotten an approval, of course, congratulations, either EB2-NIW or EB1A, and your priority date becomes current. You've started thinking of the next step, which is adjustment of status. If you've clicked what we said you should click in your I-140, okay, that there will be a visa processing from abroad or from outside the United States. You will receive an email from the NVC, the National Visa Center. This email is very important. Most people, they've not received this email. And you cannot just go through this process or go on in this process without receiving that email. Right? Right, Dr. Bobola?
Yes. So this email contains specific instructions. It contains an attached document in PDF format. So once you open that document to show your name, your address, and it contains invoice for every member of your family that is going that will go through consular processing. They will write the name of each of your family member and they will assign an invoice number. And it contains instructions on the document that you need to provide, instruction on where to go to fill your DS
260.
260 and other instructions. So it is important that you receive this email.
Very important. Okay, after assuming you've received that email, of course, in that email, they will detail the steps, that we're mostly providing in this video. So you have to read the email, you have to go through the process as it's detailed in the email. But basically, if you've applied for any form of visa application, coming to the United States, or if you've ever even visited or anything, you will be familiar with DS 160. Okay, that's for non-immigrant visas. But
Mhm.
for this one is going to be DS 260, showing that you are an immigrant. Okay, you are coming in as a permanent resident. Okay,
Yes.
so what do you need to fill a DS 260 form? Is nothing as complicated as the I-140 process, or the initial process of that brought you up to this point. DS 260 is just a couple of form that is just or couple of pages that is asking about things that you should have readily available. Okay, so full name, address history, your travel history, all previous US visa information, if you have any of those, marriage, birth records. This one is very important because, of course, your dependents are coming with you for most of
Mhm.
us. Okay, so you need to show evidence how these people are tied to you, how they are related to you. Of course, this is an employment based visa. We still need some information about your employment history, criminal record, if you have any. Okay, so anybody that knows somebody who has changed their status in the United States, they will see that this form is kind of similar to I-485. That those ones have to fill. So they also need all of this information. Okay, um before you're given a visa to leave the country where you are currently located. So, um, you're going to upload this document um, for this DS-260 application. Your valid passport, again, it has to be valid. That cannot be expired. Birth certificate, everybody does that. Marriage certificate, police clearance from your country and any other countries where you've lived in for greater than 6 months. So if the country where you're you know doing this whole process from is not the country you've lived all your life, you need to get some information from every other country where you have, lived for over 6 months after you became 16 years old. If you have any court or prison records, if you have any information that you want to put forward before they, find out by themselves, put them forward. Okay, there's no point hiding at this point. The court or prison records, then two passport photographs. So two passport photographs, they have to be recent photographs. Usually they want you to have those passports taken in the last 3 to 6 months. I believe it shouldn't be older than that. Then the approval notice of your I-140.
40. That's
Okay,
from I-797C. So
797C.
I'm going to add to what Nika said concerning valid passport.
Mhm.
What she's referring to is your travel document. That passport from, let's say, your British passport or your Kenya international passport or Nigerian international passport or Canadian international passport. That's what she's referring to. That that
Okay,
that is the first item that in the first
on
bullet
this
point.
list. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so all document must be scanned clearly in PDF or JPEG. So, or yeah, so um,
And please,
people,
I know some people like taking pictures with their phones of their document and
please,
it's not clear. You need to get a scanner and properly scan this document.
yes, they really need everything legible. They need to be able to read everything clearly. Okay, so please, if you cannot do this by yourself, this is worth spending some money to get people to do for you. But usually, I believe everybody can scan now. Even if you're scanning with your phone or whatever, scan it. Don't take
Yes.
photos. Okay. Um. So these are the document. You can take a screenshot. You can send it to whoever is in this process of their application.
Okay. So I think I would talk about this slide. So that because you are fleeing from DS-260 and you're applying for an immigrant visa, there are two types of immigrant visa for this category that we're talking about, that is EB2-NIW or EB1A. So for those that filed for EB1A and are going through consular processing, that the immigrant visa that they're filing for is E1 visa. Okay? So whether it's EB1A, EB1B, or EB1C. Then for those that filed for EB2-NIW, the immigrant visa you are filing for is E2 visa. If you need more information, you will see that there's a link at the bottom of this slide. Go to that web page and read more about it. Nick, over to you.
Correct. Thank you. So the current application visa fee per person, the last time I checked was $325, but you need to check that. You do not need any affidavit, you do not need any evidence that you have money in your account, all those type of additional things, you do not need it. This 325 per person. Okay, so you, your wife, and children if there are. So after you filled the form, you've uploaded all of those documents, you're going to be given a date for your interview. You need to appear in person for an interview. Okay, so this just brings back a lot of memories. But yes, maybe hopefully this is the final one you have to do in that country. So you appear for your interview with the appointment letter or with the visa dates. I forgot what they call it, but there's a little slip that shows that confirmation page. So
Page.
that confirmation page, you go with it. Your original documents, you can go with them, or you should go with them. They can ask you, it's still an interview.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they can ask you for those things. You have scanned them, yes, you've sent it to them, they have it, but they can want to verify. So you have to go with the original copies of everything that you have as evidence, especially all those documents listed in the previous slide. There's going to be a medical report. Okay, so you must have contacted a civil doctor, so that is um a doctor that is recognized by the US. So you're going to see those type of doctors if you're asking your country. So they must have run test series of tests. If you've never done those type of tests or taking those types of vaccinations, they will make sure you have all of them, seal it in a medical report. So you're going to go with that report as well. Okay, the cost varies, but it should be something within your ability, you and everybody traveling with you. Okay, so their sealed medical reports, again the passports, your high 140 approval notice, very important. Okay, make copies, everybody that is going should have their own. Okay, so you know uh by God's
Finally.
grace, it will be approved. And of course, congratulations.
Yes.
Congratulations. Your visa will be approved. And that type of visa, again, is like an immigrant visa. It is usually valid for 6 months. So you can come into the United States in those 6 months as an immigrant. Okay, so we've not mentioned that you have green card,
Yes,
okay, or
so
permanent residence card. So you won't get it in your country. You have to come here first. Okay, so you come here, you plan your travel, you book your flight, you leave that country, and you will be traveling as an immigrant into the United States. So when you get to the United States, um, you will of course come through the airport. I don't know which one will be your preference, okay,
mhm.
but it could be JFK, it could be that's Dallas Fort Worth or whatever, DFW, Dallas, right? Am I correct?
Yes, DFW is Dallas Fort Worth.
What? Yeah.
Yes, you are correct.
So then you're going to meet with the border protection officers, the
Hmm.
custom and border protection officers. They're going to inspect you just like if you're coming into any country. They're going to ask you some questions. Again, they will admit you into the United States as a lawful permanent resident, not as a visitor or as somebody coming here to school or anything. They will understand when you give them your class of visa or the visa that brought you into the United States. Okay, you get your passport stamped. This is still your passport from your country. Okay, all right. Then you would, wherever you've planned to stay, you will be there, and um your US address. Your US address is where your green card will be delivered.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I add more information to that?
Yes, yes,
So
please.
when you are at the border with this CBP
Hmm.
at the airport, make sure that you have all your key documents. It could be the fact that your I-140 approval
Still,
notice, yeah, all those key document like that. I
have
will
them
have it
handy.
handy. Yeah, just in case they ask for it. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so your card will physically arrive in 2 to 4 weeks. So that's the timeline. Usually within this period of time, your card should arrive, and
Okay.
that means you've gone through consular processing. Everything we've said so far is what is tagged
Yeah.
consular processing.
And once you get your card, I think we'll take this first. So once you get your card, obviously, um, you should also get your social security card. If not, you probably have to go to the social security
Office, yeah.
administration office to get your social security number. So your a social security number is just a number that the US government used to identify each person in the US. So you need that number to open a bank account, to get your driver's license, to apply for a job. What else? I mean, so many things. Uh, then also when you have your green card, you can go to the DMV office to get your driver's license. So DMV is, I think, it's Department of Motor Vehicle, right?
Vehicle, yeah.
Yeah. So that's where we go to get our driver's license. Then you can
Yes.
also go to the bank. I'm sure some of you already have some banks in mind that you like to go to. You can go
Hmm.
and go open a bank account. Then you are
Yes.
good to go. Maybe those that now want to look for a job, you can start applying for
Yes, and
jobs.
start trying to find schools for the children, and things like that. Settling
I think we need to do like a separate video where we address all those things in
when,
details.
yeah, settling in, yeah. Okay, so just some little reminders here. For your dependents, I don't know that there's always a debate about DNA, show your ties and blah blah blah.
Mhm.
But whatever way you can show your ties, make it evident or make it obvious um during the point of going for your interview. So the birth record, the marriage record, whatever shows that these are your children or your dependents, they are under 21 or married yet. So have all of those things handy. Okay, so we're saying let your passport be valid. Yes, let it be valid into like at least a year. Okay, so don't go with expired passport. And like I said, some forms like your approval as the main as the main applicant, you need to make copies. Make sure everybody has their own to show that it was your I-140 that was approved, and that's they're writing on that. Okay, to that point.
So I'm going to add something the the passport, uh, their
Tip.
international passport tip. Okay, so I found out that some people they are filed for EB2 NIW and EB1 it has been approved, but their passport has expired. They will now wait until it's time for them to adjust their status or go through consular processing before renewing their international passport. Don't do that. Make sure that you have done that early so that you won't miss your opportunity because these things are time bound. So for especially for people going through consular processing, in the email that they sent to you and in that PDF document, they will say you you need to take the steps, fill in that information within the next 1 year. So if you don't have if your passport has expired and you need to renew it, and that process will take you maybe 3 or 6 months in your country, that means that process has eaten into the time that you need to turn in your application and to obtain your immigrant visa. So please be prepared.
Okay. So let it not be heard that anybody is still confused about consular processing, because I think we did a good job breaking it down in this video. Share with your friends. Don't forget, this is my green card story. If you have any questions, please drop it down below and give your comment, thank us, whatever comment you have after watching this video. Okay, we are going to respond to you. Until next time, please catch up with us on our social media platforms. We're on Instagram, we're on YouTube. Of course, please subscribe to this channel. We are on X, we are on TikTok. We
Yes.
are on everything. Okay. So please reach out to us. The handle is my green card story on most of all of these platforms. Until next time, thank you. And I remain Olanike. And with me is
Bobola.
Dr. Bobola. Bye.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you so much.